right, we are live. We are live. We are live. Just going to be looking to see who all's in the room as we get this kicked off. Let me get in here. All right, we're just going to be waiting to see if some folks come in. Hoping that everybody will be able to join me. Um, just waiting to see if folks will join, and then we'll get going, having some conversation before the show. I got to tell you that I'm really excited about what's going to happen here, and what we're going to have to look forward to in 2026. So, but I'll go ahead and back out here, put some music on, and then once we get somebody in the room, we'll get going. All right, welcome Harold Coleman, 1970. Let's go, baby. I'm with you. Let's go. I'm so excited, man. I tell you what. Can you hear me okay, Harold? Can you do my sound check? Where are my stats at? All right, looks like we got a total of 4 folks in the room. Let me give it a few more minutes before we get started here with conversation. Go ahead and put something in the chat over there. Go ahead and put a comment in. Tell me where you're from, um, and what led you here. Let's get some conversation going. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Let me look at everything, make sure I got it. Yeah, it looks like I should have a volume going, right? All right, numbers are going up. I really appreciate y'all being here on this Wednesday night, middle of the week, hump day. You know what I'm saying? To me, there's no better day to be doing this than to be, in the middle of the week. And then the rest of the week, we can go downhill and go to our Harley Davidson dealerships and all that other kind of stuff. All right, good deal. Thanks, Harold. I appreciate it. I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna play the video because on Monday when I did my warm up live stream, Louisiana. All right, what part of Louisiana, man? I went to New Orleans. It's probably been 4 or 5 years ago now, and I had an absolute blast. I'd love to go back there at some point. Maybe take a cruise out of there or something like that. But I'm gonna do a sound check for the video to make sure that works, and then we'll be on our way. All right. I think they did a really good job this year. Uh, it's Harley, man, for crying out loud, but I think they did a really good job on the production. Let's see, we got 9 folks in here. I want to welcome y'all to the live stream. I really appreciate you being here. We're going to have some conversation before the event gets started, and then we will. I'll just be quiet during the presentation. I don't want to interrupt that. I want everybody to see it the way they intend to see it, and myself included. And then we'll hop into some conversation after the fact, kind of ask you about your reactions, get your real-time reactions, and all those other kinds of things. So let me continue to get myself set up here, and then we'll get some conversation going. I'll play some music real quick. Just bear with me a couple minutes, and we'll get going. All right. Let's see here. So we've got 6 people in the room. Like I said, really appreciate y'all being here. Harold, you say you're from North Louisiana. That's all right, man. That's all right. Like I said, I got something out of being in that state for about a week, I think it was, when I was there. So kind of getting into a conversation about the release. What predictions do you have? And let me say before I say that, what predictions do you have? Now, I haven't looked at any of the spoilers. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know anything about. I didn't want to have any preconceived notions going into this. I wanted to be able to see everything fresh for myself. And granted, here you could say whatever, but I didn't look at like Rodney Ozark's videos and all those other kind of folks that have those leaks or whatever the case would be. I just didn't care. But anyway, so what kind of predictions do you have based off of what was on the website and based off of what was on the website from chapter 1? If you haven't seen the chapter 1 coverage that I did, make sure you hop over there and check that video out talking about chapter 1. I thought they did a really good job with that production. If you join me on the live stream on Monday, we talked about that a little bit as well. We've got 14 people in the room. I really appreciate you being here. Go ahead and type in the chat. What are your predictions for this release? One of the things that we talked about on Monday was, is the Road King dead? They didn't put it on the website. And what I talked about and what we talked about in the live stream on Monday is with the Road Glide in 2014, when they changed to the Rushmore project, they skipped putting out the Road Glide that year. So are they going to do the same thing right now with the Road King and remodel that for next year, maybe? I know a lot of people that don't want a fairing bike, but they want a touring bike. One of my good buddies I used to work with has a Road King. You know what I mean? He just didn't want the fairing, and he'll put a removable windshield on, but he didn't want the fairing. And so if there's no predictions, then what are you guys looking forward to in this release? I know for me, and you'll hear me talk about this repeatedly, I know for me, I'm looking forward to the Road Glide Limited and what that looks like. And the biggest thing is I might buy one in 2026, depending on the paint schemes. Right now, if you follow my channel, you know I have a 2021 Street Glide Special. It is gauntlet gray with the black trim. I got to have black trim. I don't want chrome. It's too much to take care of. The chrome that's on my bike right now is too much. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm looking forward to from this release in terms of the Road Glide Limited. So are there anything you folks are looking forward to at all? Man, let me look at the comments. I don't see any going right here. We just getting warmed up, I guess. Let me see here. Make sure I got that going right. Yeah, it's going right. All right. Let's see. So I'll tell you what I'll do. While we're waiting, I don't know if you saw the chapter 1 video or not, but I'll go ahead and bring that up. And then we can kind of look at that and have some discussion in the room here.
Everything is looked at 2, 3, 4 times. We met in the paint shop, actually. One thing led to another, and he asked me on a date, and it wasn't long after that we were married.
Best thing that ever happened to me. It's all right to work at Harley with your wife, but you might not want to work on the same exact job with your wife.
Aww.
This is the frame that we seen get loaded raw.
Okay, yeah. So Harold, you put in independent rear suspension on the trikes. So I've heard that that's going to be a thing. You know, you get information from different sources. You know, I got that from riding the Ozarks, and I did a video on trikes that I'd love for you to check out, especially if you're looking at getting a trike. I did a video on the trikes, and the story I told on Monday is when the general manager said, "Hey, why don't you do a video on the trike?" I was like, whatever. You know, like I don't really know that that's going to do all that well. And then what they say in YouTube is the video that you think is going to do great, it bombs. And then the videos that you don't think are going to do good, they do good. And this trike video did really, really well. It's probably my top 5 viewed video, and I was shocked. But what I will say is check out that trike video. Let me know what you think. Drop something in the comments in that video and let me know what you think about it. To me, a trike is a great alternative for a number of things, or a primary bike for that matter. But for me right now, it would be an alternative. You know, one would be if the person, you know, if a significant other isn't comfortable riding 2-up, you could put them on 3 wheels, and then that way they feel more secure that you're not going to allow them to fall and all the other kind of stuff. And then the other thing too is if you have, you know, some type of disabilities or something to that effect, or you just, you know, the weight of a touring bike is too much, say 825 pounds, give or take. I think that's a dry weight. Wet weight's probably more in there, 875 or something like that. But those are the things that, you know, you got to look out for or think about when you're looking at whether you're going to buy a trike or not, because I think it's a great way to remain in the hobby, especially later on, or the lifestyle, I should say, not the hobby. But yeah, let me so we've got some folks that just joined again. I want to thank you for coming in. Stick around and stay, drop some comments in there, and let's get some conversation going. But for now, I'm gonna keep playing the chapter 1 video. I really like that they went into the individual shops. I believe this is York, Pennsylvania, where the touring bikes are made. I really do like that they went into the individual shops and talked to the people and shared that experience with us, because I love industrial stuff like this. It really entertains me. But what I want to tell the folks that just joined is I'm doing a pre-show right now, and then the live show I plan on playing and just letting it play, letting us experience it together, and then we'll talk about it more after the fact. So I'm hoping, you know, folks will stick around and stay, but let me play the chapter 1 video right now.
Went through phosphate, got painted, came down right here in the paint marketplace, and it actually did the laser bin, which is the vehicle identification number. As you see this operator right here, he's going to deck that motor into that frame.
Wow. Just like that.
The next step, just like that.
Just like that, you get a motor and a frame. Every one of these stations is roll test.
These are all roll test booths.
And they're a stationary dyno, basically.
That's correct.
Basically riding it from...
You are basically riding the bike. They will go through all the gears, check functions like headlights, turn signals, horn, brakes, certainly, feeling for any vibrations, tires, balance.
Yeah. So if you're a roll tester, you're riding a motorcycle.
All you do for a living is ride a motorcycle.
So every bike that gets built on the line, they come through here. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. You know, you get to build something that, you know, people buy. Seeing other people enjoy them is the best part, you know what I mean? Spend your hard-earned money and then get to enjoy a nice product. I have a cousin that works here, and my dad and my grandpa.
So what year did your grandpa first start working for Harley Davidson? You know?
Pretty sure it's 1969.
So it's pretty cool. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Right, so here we are at the finish line.
Absolutely. This is a road glide that has been completed. So it came offline, went through final assessment. And right now they are lifting up that road glide to go on our VDS conveyor. And that is one piece of freedom going out to our customer. Exporting freedom every day.
I love it. Someone gets a brand new Harley.
Yes, absolutely.
So here we are at Ukes Harley Davidson in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This is where the magic happens. This is where a customer walks through the door and falls in love with a Harley Davidson motorcycle.
And so with some of the changes that they made to the company and positions and stuff like that, the two Davidsons, I can't remember I think it's his wife's name. The sister, Bill Davidson, and I can't remember the sister's name, but they're back involved. And that's the gentleman who's standing on the left-hand side right there. And with the new CEO coming in, I know a lot of people are worried about the performance of Harley Davidson. With the new CEO coming in, hopefully they change things up a little bit and can get the company back to prominence to where it should be. You know what I'm saying? But let me play a little bit more of this, and then we'll get into some conversation.
What an amazing dealership this one happens to be. 95 years in the business. This is where the product ends up and the customers come through the front doors and they make it all happen. The dealers are amazing.
Yeah.
We've both had the experiences of being at a dealership where you meet somebody that's just bought a motorcycle and they're so excited to get it out the door, to throw a leg over it and go put some miles on it, to many, many new adventures and experiences that only Harley Davidson can deliver.
Well, Bill, we've learned a lot about the model year 2026 Harley Davidson motorcycle lineup, but there's more. We'll be back in January with Chapter 2, where we'll see the new Limiteds and an all-new redesigned Trek platform.
And I heard there might be a few other surprises.
For sure.
That's going to be so exciting.
Yes, sir. Bring on the surprises. That's what I want to see amongst the other stuff that they put out. I want to see the surprises. And with that, we've got some new folks in the room. I really appreciate y'all being here, and I'm sorry for the ones that already have been here. I just want to let everybody know kind of what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to do it. So right now, it's just the pre-show for us to talk about what we anticipate if you're going to buy this year. If there's something specific that you're looking for. You're going to buy you a CVO. You're going to buy you a limited. Anything you want to talk about, just go ahead and throw it in the comments and let's get some conversation going. I do plan on watching the show with you. I'm going to just sit here and be quiet. And then after the show is over, we can have some additional conversation to talk about what has taken place and so on and so forth. So thank everybody for being here. We're in the double digits now. I really appreciate y'all being here and us getting to see this together and share this experience together. For whatever reason, my camera stopped working, so I got to figure that out. That's why you can't see me right now. Let me see what I could do. Remove from stage. Yeah, hey, I'm not sure why my camera's not working. I'm going to keep messing with it. But I appreciate y'all being here. We've got, let's see, we're getting up near the 20s and folks in the room. So I really appreciate y'all being here. One of the things that I had talked about what are some of the things that you're looking forward to in the release coming up here in a little bit. We've got about 10 minutes. So go ahead and drop that in the comments, what you're looking forward to. And then are you buying this year? And then another thing is, what are you currently riding? What do you ride right now? And are you looking to replace it? So go ahead and drop that in the comments. Let me know. Drop that in the chat. Let me know what you think. All right. Still trying to figure out why my camera's not working, but I really appreciate y'all being here. We have quite a few folks in the room. Any thoughts about the release coming up for you guys? Anything you're anticipating? Are you gonna go to the dealership sometime this weekend to see what's going on, to take a look at the rides? And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times the paint schemes, the internet does not do them justice. A lot of times you got to go to the actual dealership to see it. I guess that's like anything, but with the way Harley does their paint jobs, they're do an amazing job on those. That I'm curious, are you looking forward to going to the dealership and checking it out, or what's going on there? Let me try something real quick. Let's see, changes. All right, there we go. I got my camera back. Good. And then I just need to get my feedback. Let's see. Where's it at? There it is. There we go. I got my camera back. Share screen. Share screen. Audio. There we go. Share. All right. Now we're back in shape. There we go. All right. So we've got about 7 minutes left. What I'm going to do for now is I'm going to play the chapter 1 video just right up close until the actual event kicks off. So I will say last year, I don't know if I said this already today, last year they had some IT issues. So we ended up sitting around, I think, for like a half an hour. There was stuff on the website, but then there wasn't stuff on the there wasn't stuff on YouTube where it was supposed to be. So everything kind of came out backwards, but that's okay. We got to it, and that's what matters. I got a video up from that last year as well. But let me hop over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the chapter 1 video for you guys, and then I'm going to hop over to the Harley website and see if there's anything there. If you guys have anything that you are anticipating with this release, go ahead and drop it in the chat, and we'll talk about it.
These are the towns where steel meets sweat, where engines are born, not just built. These are the people, men and women, with proud hands, who carve a living and a legacy out of iron. This is the road that connects us, from small towns to wide horizons, from yesterday's legends to tomorrow's machines. This is Harley Davidson, born from our hands, built to ride anywhere.
Wow. Look at this incredible lineup of 2026 Harley Davidson motorcycles. They're stunning.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Paul. How are you?
Welcome to 2026.
Aren't they stunning?
Man, they are, aren't they? And it's beautiful to see them all together in one place.
It sure is. I love them.
So here it is, Bill, it's time. The model year 2026 motorcycles are starting to roll into dealers, and this is really, it's my favorite time of year when the new motorcycles start to come out. And just look at this array of bikes we have.
Amazing. They're beautiful, as always.
Yeah, right?
Right? The bikes make a statement.
Yeah.
And it's something we can all be proud of as a motor company, because the pride and dedication that went into these, they're all deserving of that brand name on the fuel tank.
So here's what's going to happen. We're going to do a deep dive into all of these motorcycles, from sport to cruiser to Grand American Touring to adventure touring. We're going to bring in the experts. They're going to talk about the technology and what's new. And then we're going to go into the facilities. We're going to go into Pilgrim Road, where we build the powertrains. We're going to go to York Final Assembly. We're going to go to Tomahawk, where we see the paint and the bodywork get made. And we're going to see the people behind the story and the people who work every day to make these motorcycles great.
I love it.
Hi, I'm Lynn. I work in flywheel machining. Before me, my parents both worked here. I've worked here 28 years. This is my daughter, Madison, and she's worked here about 4 years.
My mom definitely rode motorcycles. She would put me on the back of it. We'd go around the block. Everyone asked me, like, what do you do for a job? I say, I work at Harley, and I'm proud of that. I really am.
If I'm at a stoplight, I'll ask the customer what year it is, and they say, oh yeah, I probably worked on that motor. I probably did this on that bike.
I work in the heads department. I've been here for 26 years.
I mean, you see all these motorcycles on the road, and you know that you're a part of something big.
I used to make my kids do punch bug for Harleys when they were little. Get them to make sure they...
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this right here, so that way we're in the room once they get this going. I want to thank everybody for being here. The numbers are going up. I really appreciate that. You spending your Wednesday evening with me. So like I asked a little bit earlier before, what are you guys looking forward to in the release? I know I've been anticipating this, not just because I'm doing a live stream, but because I'm looking to buy a bike this year. It's going to be later in the year, probably November, December, if everything goes right. But I'm looking to buy a bike this year, and I really want to see what they're putting out with the Road Glide Limited. I want to make sure it's going to have everything that I want it to have, so on and so forth. Because obviously, when you're spending this kind of money, you know, you want it to be exactly what you want, you know. But are you guys looking to buy anything this year? You know, or what are you anticipating for this release? One of the folks that are already in the room said that they're anticipating the independent rear suspension on the trikes. That would be a good add to the trike lineup as far as putting that independent rear suspension on there. Give you a little bit more comfortable ride. And then hopefully, like we do with the touring bikes, hopefully you don't have to go in there and change it, you know? But anything that you're looking forward to? Quiet crowd tonight, not gonna lie to you. Come on, man, drop some comments in here. Let's see what's going on. Let me reload that. There we go. All right, we are coming down to it, and hopefully it skips right over to the live. Hopefully it skips right over to the live feed. If not, I will hit refresh and we'll get in there. And like I said, hang on. I'll be on here as long as you guys are willing to be on for conversation after the live stream. So that way we can talk about what it is. I'm going to be taking me some notes. So that way I can talk to some things as well after it's over. Because I'm sure there's going to be a lot going on, especially in my brain. You know what I mean? All right, so we're getting there. I want to thank everybody who joined. Once this starts, I am going to be quiet and just let it play. If you want to drop something in the chat, by all means, do that, and we can talk about it as we go along here. Or, I'm sorry, after it's over. It is 7 o'clock. Let's see what we got. There we go.
Welcome to Chapter 2 of Harley Davidson's new model reveal for 2026. Of course, 2026 is a big year for America, celebrating 250 years. It's a big year for Route 66, the Mother Road, celebrating 100 years. And of course, it's a big year for Harley Davidson. And all these new model year 2026 motorcycles you're about to see. Let's get into it. So Shelly and Tall, we spent the day riding on Route 66 today, and we got to ride legendary Harley Davidson limited motorcycles on this great road. And limiteds really are about pounding miles, and if you think about the opportunities people have to explore this world on two wheels, this is the best way to do it. Shelly, you come from, a legacy family in motorcycling and Harley Davidson history, and you've known a lot of customers. What do you think it means to them to have this bike back?
I think they're going to be very happy to see the features that Harley Davidson has brought back to the table. And especially when you buy it off the showroom floor, this is the way it comes. And it was designed specifically to be able to tour in comfort and with great style.
Touring bikes are made for touring. And these bikes are the ultimate touring bike. Yeah. You can get on these new Harley Davidsons and put mile after mile on these bikes. The Limited is back, and it's back in a great way. This motorcycle is ready to hit the road.
All right, Tall. So here we have the Streetglide Limited in olive steel and vivid black.
Beautiful bike.
It is a beautiful bike, and it's packed full of features that touring riders will love, like the taller windscreen.
Yes.
Fairing lowers.
Yeah, really nice. I like these lowers right here. Oh, and the integrated lights. Look at that.
Really good.
Yeah. Anything that you can get up front like that to shine on the road, especially on these dark streets at nighttime, that's what you need right there.
You got a new seat. It's heated for the rider and the passenger. More passenger accommodation. Got the Grand Tour Pack with a luggage rack, and it's all wrapped up in this new bodywork and powered by the new Milwaukee 8 VVT 117.
You still have your sport mode, road mode, and rain mode, and it has all the power it needs to get down the road and get you to merge onto the interstate.
Well, let's talk about the Road Glide.
Yes.
In purple abyss and vivid black. This is the bike you were riding.
Yes, this is the bike me and my wife rode today. This is a fantastic motorcycle.
Go ahead and pop that light on, Tall.
Oh, sure.
Just to remind us that both these motorcycles have a lot in common, but one thing that's very different.
One thing is
very
very
the
different.
Fairing.
Yes.
You got your Batwing fairing and your Shark Nose fairing.
The Batwing fairing is the one that brought me into the Harley Davidson world on the Street Glide. So I kind of lean toward this.
It comes down to personal preference.
Yes.
Some people like that handlebar mounted fairing that turns when they turn. Some people don't.
I say go to the dealership, test ride both of them, see what you think.
It's the age-old debate, and like you said, you can't go wrong.
No, you can't go wrong.
Another new limited is the Pan America 1250 Limited.
Yes.
Now, you and I are both Pan Am owners.
Yes, we
and
are.
We love this motorcycle.
I'm excited about this motorcycle right
I
here.
am too, because this motorcycle has all the features that you want standard.
Everything you need to get on the road. Yeah.
It's got the aluminum luggage, the muffler guard. It's got the laced wheels, the LED auxiliary lights. It's got a quick shifter that comes standard.
And what about the new blacked out 1250 motor? It looks fantastic.
It does look good. I like the look. The Revolution Max 1250 motor is a great motor. Makes 150 horsepower, 9 ride modes, heated grips. Like it's everything you need to go down the road.
on road or off road.
For sure. And when the road ends, the fun still happens.
That's right.
So Jeremy and Brian, we've got some amazing new trikes sitting behind us, and they look beautiful. We've got a lot of story to tell about these touring motorcycles that feature all new looks, but also new performance as well. Street Glide 3 Limited is really embodiment of everything that's new for trike, and starts off with the new fairing, but everything else from touring comes with it.
Yeah, so you're right. We bring over the two-wheel fairing. We also bring over the lower fairings from two-wheel, but this time we have the integrated fog lights with those.
Just show that. Yeah.
We also have the 12.5-inch TFT display with the Skyline operating system. Heated seat for rider and passenger. Passenger gets the new handholds. Passenger also gets wider footboards. We also have the new backrest for the passenger. Better ergonomic comfort there, as well as the Grand Tour pack.
Comes with a rack, and I mean, this is all the stuff you need for touring. But then underneath all this bodywork is also a big story, Brian.
Definitely completely redesigned rear suspension for my year 26. All right, Paul, here we're at the Product Development Center. We got the NVH lab, and we got an RG3 set up here for you to check out.
Wow, it's actually a beautiful part.
Yeah, definitely. So as you can see, it's completely brand new from rear frame all the way back. It's all new. New DD-on axle coming across right here. We separated the differential from the axle, reducing unsprung mass by 68 pounds. Wow. We got the Watts linkage right here that controls the axle laterally as it moves through the suspension travel.
Yeah, and then looks like the shocks are mounted in a slightly different spot.
Yes, so the shocks have actually moved from the rear of the axle to the front of the axle. They're slightly longer as well. So to achieve that 5 inches of wheel travel that we have now compared to 2.3 before, the DD-on axle has a spherical bearing up in the front, so that's allowed to pivot. So the axle actually pivots on that. So that's how you get
that helps provide more wheel travel as well. So that's how you get more than double the wheel travel.
Exactly.
One thing we did too is we moved the preload adjuster from under the seat, and it's now underneath the left-hand side passenger footboard for easier access and adjustability.
That's nice for if you're taking a passenger and you don't want to have to readjust under the seat. You can just easily adjust, get some preload in there.
All right, Paul, we're going to show you our DD-on axle on component level testing over here.
And this is simulating road forces.
Yep, it's you got fore aft, vertical, loads that would be put in through the wheels into the chassis. So replicating that, we're testing to, over life of vehicle.
And this test will run 24/7 until you get to that point.
Yeah, exactly. We really put it through the paces, make sure it's validated for our use. I'm going to show you our full vehicle road simulator that we got going on here. This is basically the whole vehicle is on test. Typically we'd have the body on, but we took it off to show you our whole new suspension here at work.
So you take the data from the proving grounds when you're running in real life, and then you take that input and you put it back in the chassis.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we're actually simulating a rider on here, but we've got the ballast on there and connecting up to the handlebars as well.
Well, I've been at that proving grounds. I've been in that bump course, for example. Those are some serious potholes and this gnarly road surface. So you're taking all that input, all the worst of the worst, and then throwing it at here 24/7.
Make sure we're meeting the requirements. Exactly.
Makes sense. Better it than us, right?
All right. Eric and Allison, what a great day we had on Route 66, riding these motorcycles. I know this is a very different experience for you. This is not the type of motorcycle you normally ride. Talk about the differences between what you normally ride and what you experience today.
Like a chopper with no front brake. Very raw. Then you have this, polar opposite. I mean, just don't worry about stopping, just the comfort, like the heated seat, heated grips. I get down on a chopper. First I was apprehensive, but have a newfound respect for it. Absolutely. The comfort is next level. I could just ride the thing all day.
And what did you think of the performance of the Milwaukee 8 VDT 117?
The smoothness of the power is, didn't expect it. Completely changed my outlook. I mean, I could see the allure of having a trike.
You enjoyed it a little bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. A lot of bit. But yeah.
And so did you.
It was extremely comfortable. The seat is nice and wide. It's nice and thick. It's cushiony. The lumbar support feels good. I was able to just look around and ride. Could have ridden forever.
Usually some uncomfortable foot position for her, you know, is generally custom choppers not set up for passengers.
Yeah, right.
So
They
we
look
make
good.
do. Yeah,
They're not great for
no.
passengers, that's for sure. That's not what they do best, no way. Well, we're sitting here in the presence of some very special motorcycles. This is the 2026 lineup of custom vehicle operations. Corey and I rode the CVO Rogue Light ST and the CVO Street Light ST today, and we know CVO stands for the best of everything. It's the biggest motors, the Milwaukee 8 121. It's big wheels in terms of their style and design. These are hot rod baggers like we've never seen before. And you got a chance to ride them for the first time on the street.
Yeah, what a hoot. I mean, first time riding an actual street bike that wasn't something that we were gonna go out and race. And there's a lot of DNA there from the race bike that has made its way into these street models. So they're a kick in the pants to ride. I was really impressed with just how smooth it was and the feelings that it gave you. When you're getting a motorcycle like that, you're kind of looking for one thing. You're looking for the most performance you can get out of it. And it feels like everything that we've developed from King of Baggers is right at your fingertips.
So we're all suited up here in the paint shop at Tomahawk. And you were saying earlier, you paint thousands of parts a day right here in the shop.
Yeah, we paint about 5,000 parts between the 6 paint lines.
And you said you're painting some CVO parts as well, and those are typically a more complex paint.
Yep, and we have a great launch in 26 here with Electric Post. It's all 100% done here. So it's a 3-phase paint process. So it goes through a base coat line, comes in and gets faded. And then we will guide stripe and mask it. And then it'll go back on the paint line and we'll put the second coat on there. We will demask it and put the third coat on there. Then we do a final stripe and then a folding stripe. Then it comes back to the paint line and then it gets cleared. It's quite a process, a little bit of handling and a part movement, but it ends up with obviously a great product.
I think this is really cool for people to be able to see a CVO paint job like that. It's a minimum of, what did you say, 9 steps that it goes through, which just kind of speaks to the level of craftsmanship and technology that we have here, that we're able to do that as Harley Davidson, and no other manufacturer gets close to us on paint. You know,
it's a beautiful paint that someone's going to have, and they're going to look at it so many times in their garage or the side of the road and just be kind of like drawn into it, how beautiful it is, and then to think about this is what it takes, right, to make that.
So CVO motorcycles are really special. And there's a certain recipe, Dane, as we think about big performance, big wheels, big statement, big paint. And I know it's your wheelhouse.
You know, it's pretty incredible seeing them all together. These are our 5 main colors that are across the CVO family in 26. Over here, we got the Electric Coast two-tone. Next to it, the Torched Orange tritone. The Street Glide 3 Limited right here is in our Citrus Heat tritone. And then next to that is one color we're really excited about for 26 is the Inferno Gray. And then has like a red effect and then the neutral base. You have to see it outside. It's incredible. And then over here on the left is our Citrus Heat Reentry. And that colorway and scheme is obviously inspired from what we see on the track with our race team.
King of the Baggers race bikes. I mean, King of the Baggers has got everyone's attention right now. So we're starting off with the CVO Street Glide Limited, and it's got all the bright finishes.
Yeah, it's part of the bike that I think a lot of the team's most excited about. The way the wheel's been handled and just that whole bright front end to be complemented through the rest of the finishes on the motorcycle. It looks incredible.
So Dane, this bike has pretty amazing chrome finishes to complement another amazing paint job. Talk about this paint scheme and just how technical it is.
When we get into this big tritone, for example, there's a lot that goes into it. The amount of masking just to mask off this inner pinstripe from the thick to thin. That's all hand masked because that's base coat coming through between the black and the magnetic gray here. Not easy to pull off, but proud of this one and just the way it turned out.
Yeah, a lot of really cool touches in addition to this really cool factory custom paint, including this tinted windscreen.
Yeah, the windscreen, that was the first thing I noticed.
Yeah, it kind of sets it off, doesn't it?
Matches the paint, it all looks so sharp.
Well, then move on to the CVO Street Glide Limited, and the first thing I notice are these wheels.
Yes. I think that's the first thing everyone's noticing on the trike, which is awesome. Brand new geometry, a little more aggressive, a little more kind of performance inspired from some of the stuff we're seeing out there.
It looks good. All right, here are the CVO Street Glide ST and the Road Glide ST. And Corey, I know you loved this paint job. This drew you right in.
Yeah, this is my ride. I really like it.
I just think these new handlebars are awesome.
Yeah, it was a very clean cockpit too. It allowed me to get, kind of over the front of the bike when you're in those twisty bits and you need to feel that front end. But then it's also, a very comfortable riding position as well. So it's got a little bit of everything going on.
Yeah, it does. And it's got high-end components, Brembo brakes, Showa fully adjustable suspension. And look at this paint. I know this is what caught your eye right away.
It drew me in right away. I mean, I like that base gray color, but then the more you dig in and look close, that red metal flake just spoke to me.
Yeah, it does look good. And then we've got the CVO Road Glide ST. And even though this is a carryover model, it looks entirely new with this new paint being.
Yeah, I think, you can see the connection of what we do on the racetrack to this bike. It's a 2-pass orange, and that's achieved by a base coat of that brighter orange you see on like the eagle head, and those are masked off. Shoot the top coat on that, gets you this deeper orange color, and then just accent that with some of the silver striping and segmented pinstripes and checkers. It just adds to all those little performance cues.
Yeah, it's loaded with performance cues, including the heavy breather intake,
titanium exhaust,
carbon
exhaust tips. Just a very racy looking motorcycle.
Nice work. Nice work in the entire lineup of CVO. These bikes are gorgeous.
What's up, fellas? How are you doing?
Good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
What's up, man?
How are you doing?
We got some fried mushrooms and French fries.
Fried mushrooms?
You a fried mushroom kind of guy?
Now I am.
You're on that side of the table.
But I'll take it.
Yeah.
And,
How was your ride? Where'd you come in from?
Arizona.
So you've obviously been on Route 66. I mean, there's a bunch of it goes right through the state.
Yes. Some of my favorite towns are all through Route 66, like Williams. Then you got the Grand Canyon, of course.
Well, that's kind of one of the coolest parts about Route 66 too, is you really get a lot of different scenery. You get the plains of the Midwest, you get the mountains, you get the desert, you get the ocean. I mean, you literally get all of it on Route 66.
You just really feel the history over the years. It's like people have been traveling that road for a long time.
We were just talking about that. So think about in 1926 when that road opened.
Yeah.
What the cars look like, what the motorcycles look like, what the experience was like traveling the country, and you can feel the history of it.
Oh yeah, and right there, that's one of the biggest reasons I ride Harleys, because I can't help to think about that all the time. I don't know, that history, that it takes you back in time.
It's totally part of the fabric of America, right? When you're on a Harley and you throw a leg over a Harley and you head west.
Yeah, yes.
Right? There is something special about that, and it does translate into all those people who come before us on that road and that experience. You can taste it.
Everything's so go, go, go now. It's like, if that was so different back then, it's like you really took the time to kind of go through all those little towns, stop and visit them, stop for lunch at these little diners. And I mean, it was just such a different experience than nowadays, I feel like.
Like, we never would have found this place, Iggy's Diner. I mean, an awesome little diner that's just off the beaten path that you wouldn't find unless you're on this 66. And we'll jump on and go a little further up the road to Joplin and just see what we see.
Sounds good.
The mushrooms are pretty juicy.
spent the day riding some pretty special motorcycles on an epic road. Route 66 turns 100 years old this year.
It's insane.
In the United States of America, it turns 250 years old. And these Enthusiast Collection Liberty Edition motorcycles celebrate that fact. Chris, I gotta say, they're gorgeous.
Thank you. I mean, it's really a whole design team that's behind this, but yeah, they did turn out pretty incredible.
It's crazy how comfortable these bikes are and how long you can sit on these bikes for. And we hit some pretty big potholes today. So some of the suspension, everything, it took it like a champ.
I'm not sure when the last time they paved a lot of Route 66
Exactly.
was. But.
What makes it even more special is that Eagle graphic. And I understand there's a story behind that.
There is. I mean, that was very inspired by like the 1976 version that Paul Smith originally did for the bicentennial.
The Liberty Edition from Harley Davidson. An Eagle sets the pace. 3 great models from Harley Davidson.
Well, and those bikes were called Liberty Edition motorcycles as well.
Which I think that 76 was actually the first special edition Harley Davidson that we ever put out in history. So that makes it even more special to kind of reinvent that. So, I mean, you're really going to see that red, white, and blue, like not heavy-handed besides the windshields, but like everything is just, there's subtle detail touches pretty much throughout the motorcycle.
Okay, guys, so here we have the Heritage Classic and the Enthusiast Collection. And this is the bike you rode today, Ben.
Yes, it is.
It's very classic looking. I mean, I love the blue windscreen up here. Look how good that looks.
Always been a huge fan of the 3 lights.
Yeah.
Look at that. Coming down the road. You saw me in the rear.
It reminds me when we were coming in at sunset, just how distinctive that look is. That thing rips, doesn't it?
It's insane. I think that's why I love this bike so much, because it's a simple, clean bike, but it's full touring mode. It has all these little details and settings between speed, rain mode, all that stuff. It's crazy. It has everything, and it doesn't look like it would have all that.
Yeah, but yeah, still super nimble.
Right. All right, well, let's check out the Street Glide 3 Limited. So I was on this bike today, and I gotta say, the new suspension is remarkable. It transforms this motorcycle and makes it really fun to ride. And then it's loaded with all these same second and third reed details, the stitching. And we've got a heated 2-piece seat. You've got this beautiful Grand Tour Pack with the Rockford Fosgate 6.5-inch speakers. And this whole thing is just designed to crush miles.
That's great. I mean, we really tried to do kind of the same thing we did with the Heritage, but we moved a few pieces around. I mean, this one gets definitely the much more broader graphic on the front, but we still got all the same details on the tank, seat, all the same things are touched on this one as well.
And the Milwaukee 8 VVT 117, even in the trike, basically rips.
You got this in sport mode, didn't you?
Yeah, he was hauling. He was hauling. Anytime he wanted to pass us, he passed us.
All right, and then the third of the Enthusiast Collection, the Street Glide. This windscreen does really look great on this motorcycle.
I think it looks killer. We talked about, like, it looks very vintage and nostalgic on like a Heritage model, but you put this on a Street Glide and it looks almost like a performance.
It does.
Has
kind of
it really takes cues from a lot of that.
Yeah. Here you've got that 250 America logo.
Yeah, we really wanted that to be kind of a rider viewpoint.
Yeah.
We wanted you to be constantly seeing something like that. So to be able to put that on the console.
It's been 50 years since we had that first Liberty Edition motorcycles. And these bikes, I think, they're just magic.
It feels good to breathe new life into that Liberty Edition and kind of reimagine that in contemporary form.
Wow, what an amazing night. We celebrated the return of 2 legendary touring motorcycles, the Road Glide Limited and the Street Glide Limited, as well as the all-new Pan America 1250 Limited. That's fully kitted, straight from the factory. We unveiled the new Road Glide 3 and Street Glide 3 Limited trikes that redefine the 3-wheel experience. We introduced 5 new CVO models that raised the bar in Harley-Davidson performance, design, and style. And we introduced the new Enthusiast Collection, 3 motorcycles that are the Liberty Edition motorcycles that celebrate 250 years of America. To everyone watching tonight, to Harley-Davidson riders, to the dreamers and the road trippers, thank you. We build these great motorcycles for you. 2026 is going to be a great year. Let's ride.
All right. So that is the presentation. I'm going to mute this and I'll just let it play. I got to tell you, I'm surprised that's what I'm saying, Chauncey. I'm surprised that is it. I don't know what to think. Like, it was good, but I wanted more, you know? Let me get my tongue back in my mouth, I guess. So what I would say is, I guess for other things, we'd have to look for the mid-year release. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Let's see. Hold on.
And all these new model year 2026 motorcycles you're about to see. Let's get into it.
Yeah, it's just playing again. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump over to the website, and let's have some post-release conversation here. And I'll get into that in just a minute. Let me get the comments real quick, and then we'll go from there. Salty said, I agree. I think out of the three of them, the Heritage was they did a great job on that. That Harley Davidson on the tank, that looked really good. And so let's see, man. Yeah, I mean the what do you call it? The updating of the models, the Street Glide 3 Limited, the Road Glide Limited, the Pan America Limited. Those were changes and updates. So I don't know. I don't know. But Chapter 1 was obviously new colorways, but there were a lot of changes in here, so I think that's fair. Aren't they releasing new small and entry models as well? So that was the rumor. They were supposed to release what they call the Sprint or an equivalent of it, and I didn't see it in here. And I'm going to go through the website here in a minute. After this conversation, I'm going to go through the website here in a minute. But we'll see. Let's see. Feels like, yeah, there's a lot of Street Glide fairings in these releases. Two of the Heritage bikes, or two of the what do they call it, Liberty Edition bikes, were Street Glide fairing bikes. So I can't disagree with you there. I can't argue there. And I personally don't care for the new Street Glide fairing, to be honest with you. I really don't. But that's just me. But let's go ahead. Let's see. Like, where's the Iron 12 Hopper? Hell, make a like Triumph and Ducati take all that pie. Yeah, it looks that way. It looks that way. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Hey, so right off the top, I took me some notes. If you guys are not familiar with Traveling Tall, make sure you hop over to his channel and check out his videos. Obviously, I want you to check out mine, but hop over and check out Traveling Tall's video. His family has been around Harley Davidsons for years. His grandfather, his father, Tall himself, they do some great work. But one thing I do want to plug is Run to the Hills 6 is going to be June 4th to the 6th. I believe I have those dates right. I plan to go in to Run to the Hills. I'm in Virginia. I plan to go to Run to the Hills. So if you see me, or if you're coming from Virginia, or whatever the case may be, let's hook up and go out there. You know what I'm saying? But if you see me at Run to the Hills, give me a holler. Let's say, hey, I saw you on YouTube, man. How you doing? That kind of thing. Let's see. Jacob says, didn't make a Liberty Road Glide. Nope, they sure didn't. Thought that was odd. So I agree. I'm not sure what the reason is behind it. Me too. I bought a 20. I hear you. Yeah. Thank you for being on. I appreciate you. Like I said, we're going to continue with some conversation. We got a good number of folks in here, and I appreciate y'all being in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Road Glide Limited, and the reason being is that's the bike that I'm looking at. I want to get this year, and it depends on the paint schemes for me. Okay, website's acting weird. They're working on it, I guess, maybe. But anyway, so I'm a black trim kind of guy. I'm hoping there it is. There's a black trim. So let's see. Let me do it this way. Build and price. There we go. They'll let me build it, but they won't let me click the different colors. So this is the Purple Abyss in Vivid Black. I'm sure there's quite a bit of bandwidth being used. Excuse me. So that's that there. That looks really good. It's not a color I would buy, but I can appreciate it for what it is. The olive steel metallic in black. I've said in my other videos, I really do like this color. I wouldn't buy it, but I could see why somebody would. And that's what I've been saying the whole time. It's been consistent. But that's a really gorgeous color in my opinion. You got the brilliant red. That looks pretty sharp, although I wouldn't buy a red bike. The Iron Horse metallic. I love this color in person. It looks great. It's almost a greenish. So you really got to see it in person to appreciate it, but it's almost a greenish type color. The white onyx pearl. That looks good. That's classic in my opinion. The vivid black. And then billiard gray. So this tells me right now, unfortunately, good, bad, or indifferent, I won't be buying this year. It kind of sucks because I want to buy one, but what that'll do is that'll let me save up some more money and be able to get some of the things done that I want to get done to the bike. So with these colors, I can't justify it to myself. Let me see something real quick. So the colors, thank goodness, are all the same, no matter if you use the black trim or the chrome trim. So that's a good thing. That's a good quality in my opinion. As love looks of the chrome, but I bought a black trim bike because it's so much easier to clean and maintain. I agree with you 100%, man. That's where I'm going with it for sure. But yeah, unfortunately, unless they release some colors later in the year, I won't be buying this year. It just kind of is what it is. But I'm glad that they brought it back. And I'm going to talk about a couple more things on the limited, and then I'm going to push on to something else. So one of the things that I like is they did integrate the lights here for the lowers. One thing I would like to see in the future is the aftermarket develop some speaker pods for the lowers, because that's what I want to do. I want to get some speakers installed in my lowers. They put the speakers, and it's a limited, obviously, so they put the speakers in the on the tour pack, which is good. The tour pack now has a light, or with the limited, it has a light. They don't have they have the traditional tail lights. They don't have the newer model tail lights in the back. I find that interesting. If not annoying, but I find it interesting. I'm sure there'll be some aftermarket from Custom Dynamics or something like that. But anyway, that's just what I observed on that. Said it comes with a heated seat. I don't know if that was the case before or not, but that's a good thing. The tour pack is redesigned. It's got a little hump on the back here. And then looks like the bars are about the same. These are swept back a little bit, but looks like they're about the same. But one thing I do want to talk about on the Street Glide Limited is they talked about the bars being different. And I noticed that, let's see, building price. I noticed that all of these colors are the same. Okay. And I did notice that on the I'm sorry, on the video. Well, no, that's not different. Those don't look different. Maybe it's just online. But if my notes are correct, that they did put different bars on this. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. But it does come with a 117, which I'm sure is plenty of motor. You put your torque cam in there and you'll be good to go. That would be in my plans when I do purchase one of these. But I tell you one thing that this does do in terms of the colors not being what I want, it gives me time to figure out what changes I want to make to the bike when I get it. So that's a good thing in that case. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, the sport lineup is the same. They didn't do anything different there. The adventure touring, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on the Pan America. I don't know that applies to a lot of folks. This would be an extra in a lot of cases, but it is a sharp looking bike. I like that paint job. I like that it comes with the paint ears, the bags. I like that it comes with that. But that's about all I got on that. Not a whole lot of input on that, but I do want to test ride one of the Pan Americas, and hopefully I can get with my local dealership and be able to do that. Let's see. Jacob says the CVO ST bars are different on the Street Glide compared to the standard. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, I got that wrong. I appreciate you correcting me on that. So Grand American Touring. Let's look at the CVOs. And I took some notes on those, and then we'll move on to some other things. I will tell you, and not that I have CVO money, but I like this paint job. Let me go in here and look at it real quick. What color is this? This is Inferno Gray. This is the one that we were talking about with the red flake. I don't know if I would like this in person or not. I'm not a big red fan personally. So I'm not 100% sure if I would like it in person or not, but I won't judge until I see it in person. But that does look, you can kind of see it on the internet, how they did the different colors and stuff like that. But that is pretty sharp. And then you got the Electric Coast. Okay. So this is kind of, what's that color? I can't remember. There's a blue color that looks very similar. And you know, I'm not one to badmouth, and I don't want to be negative. And you're right, Jacob. Those are the different bars. You can see them right there. I'll zoom in a little bit. Hope I'm not making anybody sick. But that's a good touch. I like that they did that. Gives a little bit more of an aggressive look, kind of unique. I think that's pretty cool. And honestly, like for me, depending on how those feel, I wouldn't change them. I wouldn't change them. Wouldn't feel the need. But if you spend that much money on a bike, you know, you don't want to go in changing a whole lot, at least in my opinion anyway. It is a CVO and you want to try to retain the value. I will tell you that this paint job on the ST, for me, it's too close to the RR. You know, it's too close and too soon in my opinion. But I do like that they put the custom color windshields on here, stock from the factory. I think that's a good idea. I think that they're recognizing that the style and interest of people is going that way, and they're adapting to it, and so on and so forth. I do like this paint job, but like I think it's too close to the RR, and I would have to compare them side by side, but I'd be upset if I was an RR owner, if I'm being honest with you. You see, I do like the blue Street Glide ST. Looks sharp. I agree with that red trim. I agree with you. Let's see here. And then you have, let's see, the different colors on that. You have the blue as well in the CVO. I do like that Harley logo right there. That's pretty sharp because the Harley logo is on the fairing and then also on the tank. So that's pretty sharp. And then they also have that gray color as well. And then this is the CVO Street Glide. This looks like a throwback to the, oh man, I can't remember what anniversary edition that was, but this is what that reminds me of. This is kind of sharp. I wouldn't buy it, but it is kind of sharp in my opinion. That's pretty cool. All right. Is there anything in particular you want to see that's on the website? Anything else you want to talk about? Let's see. This is the CVO Street Glide Limited. Okay, that blue's all right. Again, I don't care for the paint job, but that's just me. But it comes in, and then this. Okay, so the trims matter on this one. The Citrus Heat right here comes with the black trim, and the Electric Coast comes with the chrome trim. I can see why they made that choice, I guess, in terms of the different trims. But I think that's kind of sharp. I think that's kind of sharp. But again, I'm not a big fan of the Street Glide fairing, the new fairing. I have a 2021 Street Glide with the older fairing without the lights on it and so on and so forth. To me, that just looks too futuristic. But that's just me. Okay, let's see here. Where is their Liberty editions? Let's see if I can find that. Heritage Classic, Fat Boy, Breakout, Lowrider ST. I wonder where they put the Liberty editions. Let me see here. So I do want to talk about the trikes. Let's see. Did they make a CVO Road Glide Limited? I do not believe so. No. The Street Glide Limited CVO. Let's see here. So the Road Glide 3, I really like that. I'm a big fan of the new fairing on the Road Glide 3. I did a test ride of the Road Glide 3 and a trike with my local dealer. And I really liked the ride of the Road Glide 3, and I could see why people would buy it. I think it's a pretty cool bike. But it comes with the black trim only, it looks like. You've got your billiard gray, which is your stock color, your vivid black, your blood orange, iron horse metallic. Again, a great color in my opinion. You can see that green right there. And then teal thunder. Okay, that's pretty sharp. I think they might sell some of these. And without being funny, I think some of the female demographic will really like this color. I like teal, but I'm just saying this comes across as more of a feminine color on this bike, but I like the paint job, and I also like the tank emblem as well. But they did show that they redid the suspension on these too. So I want to get with my local dealer and do a test ride to see if I can feel the difference. Maybe take an older bike and a newer bike together and then feel the difference between the two, because that should help a lot. Yeah, Jacob, they are pushing the Batwing fairing quite a bit. Let's see here. It took me to a different place. Hold on just a second. Let me get back to where I need to be. Probably a lot of traffic on the website, so it's bogging down. It's thinking right now. The new RG3 is really nice. Yeah, I agree. I think it looks really nice. I can't get into the trike stuff. There we go. Okay. So this is the CVO Street Glide 3 Limited. That should be the right name. So again, you have that electric coast and the citrus heat. I think that looks sharp, especially in that trike. Look at those rims, man. Those rims are sharp. They are really listening to the market and really listening and paying attention to what people like. Those rims are gorgeous, in my opinion. And all the space, I can't remember the exact number, but there's quite a bit of space for you to use on these bikes. Let's see, definitely going to send it to my dad, see what he thinks. He has a freewheeler. Hey, Jacob, if you haven't seen my video on trikes, make sure you check that out. I think the title is called Trike These Out, or at least the thumbnail is. Check that video out. Show it to your dad. Check it out. Make sure you drop a comment. Subscribe if you don't already. I'd really appreciate it. Let's see here. Let me go back to the trike. So we saw the CVO. Let's see if they'll let me in here. What they didn't talk about was a freewheeler, and I wonder why. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm just having problems with the trike. Let me go back. I'll skip that for now. Heritage Classic. They're not showing the Liberty bikes. Let's see. Yeah, the freewheeler they're still listing, but that is probably a 2025 model. The website's just having problems, man. Definitely going to see. Yeah, and subscribe. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate it. I really do. I will tell you the live stream I did last year really boosted things for my channel. And in 2026, I'm really channel. I have a lot of trips planned. One of them is I'm going to Myrtle Beach Bike Week. The other one is I plan to ride from Virginia to Wisconsin to go to the Harley Davidson Museum, to go to Chicago, all those other kinds of things. So that trip is going to be really huge. I hope you guys follow and continue to check out my channel. Support me as much as you can. I really appreciate it. I'm also going to be going to what was it I was talking about? Oh, Traveling Tall's Run to the Hills. I'm also going to be going there as well. So I can't wait for this year to kind of get started and the weather to get nice and things to start rolling. Let's see. Yeah, the internet is really not cooperating with me very much at all. Let's see if they have the Liberty bikes. Let's explore it. There it is. Let's find the Liberty editions. Those look sharp, I tell you. And I really do like the eagle that's on the fairing. I think that's really good. I think they did a good job on that. Let's see. Let's look at I think the Heritage is the best out of the three, simply because of the tank. Well, the Street Glide has a tank as well. It says, my riding season is done until April. I'm way north in Maine. Oh, I hear you, man. You're way in Maine. I rode last Thursday to my local dealer, and it was gorgeous. It was like 70 some odd degrees or something. It was a gorgeous day to get out and ride the bike. Yeah, the website's just not cooperating. Let me go through some of my other notes. Again, I'm curious for the folks that are in the room, if you're going to be buying this year, what are you going to buy? What are you looking forward to? What were the positives and negatives of the release? Let's get some conversation going. Let's see. Yep, I talked about that. And I did like that and obviously any bike that they release now should have the riding modes. And I'm glad that they put those on there, the sport, rain, and road. When I rode a road glide, someone a little bit, So it's really cool to see how those come together and the different options that they give you and stuff like that. Obviously, the CVO STs, they come with a fourth mode, which is track mode, where folks can, customize and do things that they want to do, go crazy with it, I guess, while they're riding. Now, let's see. I mine up Halloween week, getting the stage 2 done over the winter at my local Harley dealership. Nice. They had a Black Friday special on the 511 cams installed. Yeah, they call it the 511. I think that's a torque cam, isn't it? I want what and what kind of bike do you have that you're getting in? I want a torque cam in my bike, but originally coming into this, my plan was I was going to buy a Road Glide Limited sometime in 2026 or early 2027. But because of the paint schemes, I'm not doing that this year. I'm just not. And then what I was going to do is I was going to turn my 2021 Street Glide Special into my build bike, or my I don't want to call it a what do you call it? I can't remember the word they used. I don't want to call it a performance bagger, because that's not what I'm going for. I'm not looking for the numbers. I just want a little bit more kick, a little bit more torque, and then that should be about it. I'm gonna do the bars this year. I'm thinking about getting some KST bars. Let me go back to the website. It's not cooperating very well, but I'm gonna get some KST bars. I'm gonna get those installed. I'm thinking of going with the Patriot baggers and 10-inch. I don't need anything crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I got bad shoulders, but I just want something a little bit above stock. So I'm looking at doing that this year. It's the only cam they have, the new. I got 24. I'm sorry. Yeah. You have a 24 Blue Burst Road Glide 117. Very nice. I'm sure that's a great bike, man. I can only imagine. I'm gonna have to get my kicks this year through test rides through the dealerships and stuff like that. Quite a few videos on my channel where I worked with the local Harley dealership. I'm working with one right now to do a video on one of the CVOs. So I'm going to be probably going shooting that Thursday or Friday, and then we'll see where we go from there, what other kind of things we can hook up and do. But I really hope that you guys check my channel out. Give me a like, share, and subscribe. All those other things that, us content creators ask for. But it's really important in terms of how what do you call it? How my channel develops and views and stuff like that. But anyway, so is there anything that you guys specifically want to talk about? I know one of the first reactions coming out of the release was, "Is that it?" I kind of agree, and I don't know if I'm being greedy or not, but I kind of agree. Like, I was really expecting more, but I'm not. I'm okay with what came out, but I was just expecting more. Yeah, the website's just not doing well. Let's see here. See if we can get back to that. Yeah, the website's just not cooperating. But I thought the production was good. Just like the chapter 1 release, I thought the production was really good. They gave you, some backstory. They talked about the paint scheme or the paint jobs, the CVO paint jobs, because they used to send the CVO paint jobs out to a specific shop. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe one of you guys know it. But they used to send the CVO work to a specific shop, but now they're doing it internally. Maybe cost savings or something to that effect. I don't know for sure. But I will say it's potentially because, and I'm no painter by any means, so don't anybody take this the wrong way, but it's maybe because these paint schemes were a little bit more straightforward. There wasn't especially on the Road Glide Limited and the Street Glide Limited, there wasn't a bunch of feathering and stuff like that. There is a little bit of striping, but there's not a lot of feathering or different, what's the word? Blending of the paint and stuff like that. So maybe that's why they didn't send these out anyway with the limiteds. Let's see. You can do aftermarket cams, but I went with the HD one because I got a warranty when I bought the bike from my dealer. Third bike, nice, Jacob. That's awesome. And I'm the same way. When I get my next bike, I will be putting a Harley Davidson cam in it. I don't need to go nuts Did you also put the 8 Duke tuner in it, the small red one? Did you also put that tuner in there? But I will do the same exact thing because I bought an extended warranty for my bike. I'm not going to trade it in. I have no plans on trading it in. I want to get as much life and experience with my motorcycle as I can, my 2021 Street Glide Special. So I agree with you in that. I don't need, an aftermarket or anything like that. I want to stay within warranty and not having any issues. Let's see here. But yeah, that's the Street Glide Limited right there. And what do you guys think about the change of the names? And also another thing, what do you think about them not releasing the Ultra this year, or at least they haven't yet? I mentioned Traveling Tall. He had bought an Ultra last year, a Street Glide Ultra. And so I would be a little salty just because, I don't know the price difference. I don't know if it's $5-8 grand, whatever the price difference is. To me, I wouldn't want to go through the hassle of trading in an Ultra in order to get them unlimited because the limited is my ultimate goal. But then I guess to a degree, you had to kind of think, at least wait a year and maybe they were going to release it anyway. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I already had a stage 1 Screaming Eagle tuner, and I did an Arlen Ness air cleaner. I've always used Arlen Ness big suckers. I don't know. I just always liked them. Very nice. That's awesome, man. Yeah. I can't remember the model that I put on mine, the air intake, but it's the round one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's round and it's open faced right here, and then the slits around. That's the one I put on there. I really like it. The one I like now is the wedge one. I think it's called wedge. That's the one that I would put on my bike now in black, obviously, because I like black trim. But yeah, I don't blame you as far as going with Harley parts. I think that's a great call. So we're coming up to the hour. I'm gonna hang in here until 8 o'clock. What other questions? What other conversation do we want to get going? It seems like, and maybe I'm just wrong, but it seems like at least the people that of the people that were in here, we're looking to buy, and maybe you got to take it in a little bit more in terms of what's available versus what you expected. But like I said, my buying plans this year are shot. Yeah, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for it. You know what I mean? But it kind of is what it is. Let's see if we can get into the trikes again. There we go. All right. So the different colors in the trike. Midnight Ember. Is this the one that's? Yeah, that's the one with the red in it too. But that's a Liberty edition. I think that looks pretty sharp. That tank is. I love that tank. Let's see if we can get into the building price. There we go. I love that tank, man. I bet you some people, if they could take this tank off of this and put it on something else, or at least mimic it, they would do it. But that Road Glide or that Street Glide 3 Limited, that's sharp. If I was buying a trike, this might be the one. That's pretty sharp. You got the purple Abyss and Vivid Black. Two-tone scheme there. Olive Steel Metallic. All of these are in a chrome trim. Brilliant Red. I think that looks good. Iron Horse Metallic. Again, that greenish color. Your traditional Vivid Black. Got some white striping going through it. And then your Billiard Gray, your dark Billiard Gray. And then let's see. Did that change at all? So with the black trim, you lose the Midnight Ember. So you cannot get the Midnight Ember in the black trim. I guess that would be too dark. I guess that makes a little bit of sense. See, are you getting a new limited 117 VVT? So I have a 2021 Street Glide Special. My plans are to keep that bike. I do not want to get rid of it whatsoever. It was my first Harley Davidson, and I want to keep it. I was going to get a Road Glide Limited, but I'm not going to do that now. Like I said, the paint schemes just don't work for me. Let me see. Yeah, this has got a VVT in it. Yours has a VVT too, doesn't it, Jacob? Let's see. But this is the all the black trims. That Vivid Black is with the black. That's black. Let's see here. But all of those look pretty good to me. All right. So we'll go ahead and exit out of this. Exit the builder. Let's see here. What else is in the new bikes? Adventure Touring. So they talked about, let's see, the Pan America Limited. Let's look at that real quick. Yeah, for folks that were looking for the entry-level bike, as I was, because I was kind of anticipating that and what they were going to do around that. Maybe they'll release it later this year. I don't know. But we got to do, in my opinion, they need to do something to be able to get the, what's the word? To get folks to get interested in Harley Davidson, especially younger folks. I don't know what the youngest person is you have seen on a Harley. To me, it's maybe early 30s, maybe, you know, and maybe that's a way to do it. I don't know for sure. And, you know, obviously I'm generalizing a little bit, but this limited comes with the paint ears. I think that's a good deal. The bags, I think that's pretty awesome. I like this paint scheme. This is the olive steel metallic. Got a little bit of neon in there. The white onyx pearl. Okay, that's pretty sharp. That's pretty sharp. And then your dark billiard gray. I like all of these actually. And they only come in the black trim. And then obviously you got a bunch of options that you can put in the builder here. But yeah, you can see that it comes with the hand guards. The I don't think this lighting I think is extra on the limited. Fog lighting or whatever you want to call it. And they also talked about the blackout of the Rev Max motor. I like that. The blackout of it instead of that gray kind of cheap looking type situation. I think that's pretty cool. But hopefully I get to test ride a Pan America this year. I'd really like to try one out, give it a whirl. I've ridden a Lowrider ST. And all of these I've done videos on. I've ridden a Lowrider ST. I've ridden a trike. I've ridden the newer model. I believe it was a 2024 at the time, Road Glide and Street Glide. All of these I've done review videos on. So make sure you hop over there and check that out. I'm trying to think if there's any. I do want to try to expand the channel this year and maybe try to, don't hate me, try to ride a Kawasaki. I want to try to ride a Gold Wing. I want to try all these things out to be able to compare between, you know, my Harley Davidson and other things that are offered. So I got to work the dealers here really hard to try to get a test ride on those. And I want to even ride a sport bike. I've never ridden a sport bike, and I at least like to try it. You know what I mean? Just to say I've done it. But that's what my channel is about, man. My channel is about things that go fast. Things that go fast. Obviously, Harley Davidson motorcycles, but I also do cars and coffee as well. If you're a car enthusiast, hop over there and check those out. I've got a series. I've gone every weekend except for Christmas weekend, I think it was, since the beginning of December and been shooting videos. So make sure you hop over and check those out. Let's see. Know the standard slides 2024 to present have the 117 with the liquid cool heads. They put the VVT engines in the limiteds and trikes this year. I got you. Fair enough. I did see the VVT on the trike. I did see that. Some folks say the VVT is a problem to get a cam for. I don't know that to be true. I'm not 100%. I don't know for sure. But they say basically it's a problem to get a cam for. But I don't know the technical stuff behind that. You know what I mean? But yeah. So let's see. Let's go ahead and exit the builder. And so really in the release, this is a good summary right here. Really in the release, we got the Street Glide Limited, the Road Glide Limited, the CVO Street Glide ST, CVO Road Glide ST, and then the CVO Street Glide and CVO Street Glide Limited. That's what we got in the release today. And then obviously the trikes as well, these new trikes. I like them. I really do like most of them. I do want to see them in person though. A lot of videos coming out here soon from all kinds of content creators. Hopefully you'll spend some time on my channel watching my videos that I do over the coming weeks. Mine won't be as quick as some others. I just don't have the time. I have a full-time job. I don't have the time to get to the dealer and produce videos. And the other problem is our dealers locally don't get them as quick either. Versus maybe some folks that are closer in the north and so on and so forth. So I'm going to be working with my local dealers. I'll drive up to an hour away if I can set it up to be able to check out these 2026s and bring you those videos. Let's see here. Jacob says, I used to I agree, man. I'll tell you a story real quick, and I've told this several times. When I originally had a Kawasaki Vulcan. I love that bike. 900 is what it was. I love that bike. It was my first bike. I got, you know, what's the word? I sharpened my teeth on it, or whatever they say. And so I ended up getting rid of that bike in 2018, I think it was. And so I told myself after I get reestablished, I was going to buy me another motorcycle. And I always said, and I never say never anymore, I always said I would not buy a Harley Davidson motorcycle. They're overpriced, blah, 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 blah. And now look at me, I'm wearing a shirt on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, my point is, when I started looking, there was the Kawasaki Vulcan Vaquero or something like that. I think it was. It was a Gold Wing, and it was what was the other one I was looking at? Was it a Suzuki touring bike, I think, or something like that? Anyway, I can't remember. But the point is, when I really started looking, one, the fit and finish and looks, like you talk about, Jacob. Two, the options to be able to change, to do what you want to do with your bike, to make it your own, as they say. It's just, you can't compete with it. Anybody else, you can't compete with. The Indian is what it was that I looked at as well. Indian was close, but I just couldn't do it. Because part of the thing is, and I won't go too long on this about, you know, the dealer network and all that other kind of stuff, but the Harley Davidson dealer network, you can throw a rock, so to speak, and hit a Harley Davidson dealership. To do this with Indian or Honda or any of these other folks, and you're traveling and you're doing touring like I want to do and like I have done, you can't go wrong getting a Harley Davidson motorcycle. Sure, you might pay the Harley tax or whatever you want to call it, but the lifestyle just it's cool, man. It can't be replaced in my mind. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the car community. Those guys all come together and huddle around and talk. Well, we do the same thing when we go to like I talked about earlier. I was coming back from Myrtle Beach, and these 4 or 5 dudes I randomly talked to for like 10, 15 minutes at the gas station, just talking about our bikes, standing around and looking. You can't beat that, man. Like I don't know these guys from Adam. You know what I mean? And I think they were from Massachusetts or something. And we stood and talked for like 10, 15 minutes, and they were like, hey, I got to get going, man. I got a schedule to keep. I was like, my bad. You know, I'm only going to Virginia from Myrtle Beach, so it ain't no thing for me. But anyway, I don't know how I got on that story. But anyway, let's see. Jacob says, I got my bike license when I was 19 back in 2008. Let me do the math real quick. 19 in 2008. Yeah, you're a young guy, man. You're a young guy. Let's see. Riding ever since had a Kawasaki, a Suzuki, and a Harley. I hear you, man. Let's see. You said the VVT will allow better gas mileage and more horsepower and torque. I'm interested in the specs of the 117 VVT compared to the 117 liquid cool heads. I hear you. Yeah. Be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's see. Says out of all of the big all of the big Japanese bikes, the Kawasaki is by far the best bang for the buck. Excuse me. Cheaper than the rest of the Japanese bikes, but the quality is great. Better warranty too. Yeah, I had no complaints about my Vulcan. I want to say back in the day, I paid around $7,000. I want to say I might be off on that. I know it wasn't 10. I want to say I paid like $7-8 or something like that, and I didn't think really that much of it. And then of course, you know, I bought my Street Glide special during COVID. I won't talk about that, but you know, let's just say there wasn't much room for negotiation. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, I'm gonna hang on for. It is 8:04 right now. I'm gonna hang on for about another 6 minutes, talk a little bit more, and then be on my way. But I really appreciate you guys coming into the live stream, talking about the event. I really hope that you support my channel. Make sure you subscribe, and give me feedback. I'm open to feedback. You know, if one of my videos sucked, tell me why it sucked. If it's good, please tell me why it's good. I always like positive feedback, and how I can do things better for my channel. Because I'm still, you know, it's funny. I've been doing this for about 2.5 years or so, give or take, like where I've been taking it serious. And it's funny to see the growth between my videos from back then until now. And in my mind, the quality and the value and the different things that I've learned while I'm doing YouTube. I really enjoy it. And if you have a channel, drop it in the comments or drop it in the chat, and I'll make sure I hop over and check out your channel as well. Let's see. Jacob says, I think the new Road Glide Limited looks great. Lots of good features too. Yeah, I agree 100%. Let me look at the price tag on that while I'm talking about getting one. So 32 or 33. Okay. All right. You know, it's not crazy. I had to look at the paperwork on my Street Glide when I bought it, but it's not crazy. Especially with all the features that you get. I mean, the lighting, I don't care for these lights. I really don't. Like it looks like a geezer glide to me. With the lights anyway. That's all I'm really talking about. But I guess you get what you get, or you change them, one of the two. But yeah, I think that's really sharp, man. I'll look at it in the black because that's what I would buy. Let's see. I get new rims too. Yeah, I think the rims are sharp. I didn't pay those much mind, but I think those are pretty sharp. Yeah, again, the lights and the lowers. I'm glad that they didn't skimp there. They actually put those on there from the factory. I hope it has heated grips. I'm pretty sure it does. They talked about the heated seat, which is an added feature. It would kind of suck to change it because most people change their stock seats. I know that the 2024, Jacob, did you change your seat on your Road Glide? I'm just curious because when I rode that 2024 Road Glide, I would change that seat in a heartbeat. I didn't like it. One, it pushed me too far forward. I don't like sitting up on the tank. I'm only 5'10", 5'11" on a good day, but my solo seat that I have on my motorcycle is an extended reach. And like I said, I'm only 5'11". Maybe it's my proportions or something. I don't know. But I do not like sitting up on a tank. I can't stand it. Let's see here. And so this is your red. This will show you a little bit more of the features. The other thing I don't like about the stock Harley saddlebag guards or crash guards or whatever you want to call them is these aren't the 1.5 inch. They're the inch. I don't like that. I like the nice and thick saddlebag guards. That's what I have on my Street Glide. Honestly, it's fearless, but I probably would change these. I'm not going to lie to you, just for looks. And maybe even strength too, potentially. But I would change these for sure, 100%. Let's see, Jacob. They look like the turbine rims they used in the 2017-2018 Road King Special. Okay, fair enough. I'll have to try to find some pictures of that and see if I can locate them. Let's see. I couldn't reach. Yes, I couldn't reach. I'm 5'10". I got the Harley switchback seat, and it's pretty good. Not great, but good enough for me. Fair enough. Yeah. Yep. As long as you're happy with it, man, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? One thing I do like about the Road Glide Limiteds and the Road Glides period is the rim. Oh, I'm sorry. The bars. I won't, as long as these are positioned correctly, I won't change these bars. I love the stock bars. They're up just high enough and very comfortable to where I don't feel like I need to do anything different. All right. Let's see here. So yeah, like I said, on the Road Glide 3, and a couple other folks like the Road Glide 3 as well. I really like this this on the tank. This what do you call it? Graphics on the tank. I really do like that. I really do like the Liberty Edition too. I think that was a really smart thing for them to do in the Enthusiast Collection. I want to say my local dealer said that they were going to have one of those, and I'll have to check that out too. Let's see. The issue I had with the new seat stock, my inseam is short, so it was digging into my. Yeah, that's no good. Digging into your thighs, that's very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Hey guys, so one, does anybody have any other comments, any other thoughts about the release? Whether it be chapter 1 or chapter 2. Do you plan on buying a bike this year? If so, what bike? And then what are you going to replace? What bike do you currently have? We still have some folks in here, so I'll hang in here for a little bit longer. Good enough number to continue the conversation. But what bikes, like I said, do you have right now? And what bike do you plan on buying this year? And honestly, it could be any one of these for any particular reason. One bike that I have not ridden yet is the Fat Boy. So I kind of want to put this challenge out to my local dealers to support my channel and let me ride those. I want to ride the Fat Boy. I don't necessarily want to ride the Breakout, but I wouldn't turn it down. The Lowrider ST I've ridden. Thanks. I really appreciate the compliment, Jacob, man. I enjoy doing this kind of thing. I think you kind of have to, because I sure enough don't make a living off of this, but I do it for fun. And I do it for the experience, the lifestyle, all of the other kind of stuff of Harley Davidson. But anyway, the Lowrider ST, I've ridden that bike. I really liked it. I haven't ridden any of these, but I would love to try. I have ridden a trike. I really enjoyed that. And like I said, all of these I have videos on. I really enjoyed that. I haven't been to CVO yet. You know, maybe I'll try to get to see if they'll let me ride it. We'll see. I gotta talk my way into it, and I gotta be careful, obviously. But yeah, while the release event wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, it still was good. I think it was good to get those things out there and to see what they're offering this year. He said, YOLO, go get yourself your dream bike. I'm fortunate my old lady doesn't complain when I get bike stuff. It's my only passion that costs money. Fair enough. Yeah, man. Yeah. And it's important how do you the support of your wife, right? Because otherwise it becomes a little bit, but man, that's kind of my thought process is, or my personal opinion is, I work, you know what I mean? Like at a certain point, one, you can't take it with you. Granted, you probably want to leave something with the kids, but you can't. And two, like, what's the point of working and not enjoying any part of that? You know what I mean? It's YouTube and Harley Davidson. You know what I mean? I work 60 hours a week. You ride to work every day. But we are coming up on get off. I'm gonna stop the live stream here at 8:15. I really appreciate you guys getting on and talking through the release and what Harley Davidson has done. Again, I appreciate the support and spending time with you guys tonight. You could have been anywhere else in this world. See, work 3 days, 3 days on, 4 days after this, or something like that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good setup. Yeah, but let's see here. So obviously it's what, mid-January? Yeah, mid-January. You're getting close to riding season. And certain spots, obviously Florida, Texas, you guys are already in your riding season. You stay in your riding season all along. I'm not hating all year long. For me, if it's 40 degrees or higher, I'll go ahead and ride as long as I don't have anything work related or need to go get some groceries or something. But I really do enjoy riding. I've been riding since 2009. Yeah, 2009. So almost 16 years. Is that bad? 17 years. Almost 17 years. The Motorcycle Safety Foundation course. If you're looking to buy a bike, definitely take that course. They'll take you from crawling to walking, or crawling to running, excuse me. And also you get your license right afterwards, at least in the state of Virginia. You get your motorcycle endorsement right after the class is over. And then, you can't put a price on safety. That's the way I look at it. And like I say at the end of my videos, always ride as if your life depends on it. Because nobody's going to look out for you while you're out there riding except for yourself. Unless you get a guardian angel that that's riding behind you in their car or something like that. Let's see. Jacob says he'll ride if it's 45 degrees and up. Yep. It's been negative 15 here the last few weeks. Good Lord. And at night, and 15 to 20 degrees during the day. Yeah, I don't miss any of that. I used to live in Nebraska for a while, and that was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. But I didn't have a motorcycle back then either, so but that is what it is. 5th coldest December on record up here. Wow, that's crazy. How much snow do you guys get? All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you being on the live. 5 minutes of your night with me. I really appreciate it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out my videos. Check out my page. Give me feedback. Give me comments. You know what I mean? And I answer comments pretty much right now. So I really want to thank y'all for joining the live stream. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace and be blessed. Have a good night.